I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not happy. When I was a child, I thought being an adult was about freedom and chasing joy and finding your importance in life. But recently, it feels like every day is a mystery. I'm still chasing joy and I don't really know who I'm important to anymore. Am I a therapist? Am I a YouTuber? Am I an imposter? Somehow, I think I've been waiting for you to tell me. I'm Kate, a former therapist, and I've been recently taking up journaling. I've been using this app called Zinnia to make collages and poetry and stream of consciousness writings and just journaling prompts, whatever I feel like doing, schedules, bullet journals, whatever. Years ago, I fell in love with bullet journaling, but I felt like I spent more time creating the spreads rather than using them. This app has made it super easy to get back into journaling and bullet journaling and planning out my schedules and making lists and things like that without having to buy a million different pens, journals, and whatnot that I needed, highlighters, markers, everything that I wanted to use. It has it in this app. And you know, I felt like I was starting pretty strong with my prompt of describe in detail how your life has changed since last April. That was until I started writing, and it turns out I feel a lot of the same things that I was feeling a year ago. Some of the same things are I still hate writing scripts.
I hate writing so much that it's 12:46. I'm gonna take the dogs out instead of writing.
I still feel lost with my direction on YouTube in general. I've changed a lot of directions, which means I'm sticking to really nothing. And I'm still angered at being kind of stuck, which is super frustrating because a lot of things have changed since the last year. I've moved to a new house, a new apartment. I'm working in both a home and a studio. I have coworkers now. That's weird. That's new. I mean, I've had coworkers before, but not in my house. That's kind of a new experience for me, I would say. But I also live in a new city. It's a new culture. Like, it's not so much outdoorsy as it is more urban. And then like work-life balance has also super changed. I quit my job as a therapist about a year ago. Having a job as a content creator instead of a therapist has been really different. And you know, to find out that most of the things are still the same, I'm still struggling with some of the same problems I was having a year ago, well, it made me mad. Because I mean, you're supposed to make progress, right? In a whole year, that's a whole lot of time to make progress. But my growth has not been what I expected it to be. So I went with a different journal prompt. After that one, which was so disappointing, I found another one on Pinterest that was, how can you make your life more meaningful starting today? We're already starting at a better point. Instead of reflecting on what has happened, I can now think about what can and will happen that I can do. And so I started writing down a list of things that I could do differently, which was paying attention to the smaller moments in my daily life, like when my dog comes to greet me, or when I go outside and it feels really nice. There's sunshine, there's a light breeze. That's a nice small moment. But I could also practice gratitude. I could also take time to be a little slower. I could go outside more. I could also balance work with life and living, you know, because work-life balance is too hard to write down, but also who knows how to do that? Who? I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of things that I could be doing that I don't think I am doing.
You know, YouTube isn't really what I expected it to be. Being a content creator isn't really what I expected it to be. That's how I feel about it. It's just like, ugh, no, don't get me wrong. I love it, but at the same time, like, I don't know what I was expecting, man. Thinking that I was gonna make a real business out of it. Like, I would work on growth and sponsorships and all these things that have not happened yet. But channel growth has happened a little bit and virality has happened just a little bit. So like, it's progress. It's progress. But I made a list of things that I didn't expect this to be. I didn't expect this job to be. It's a lot more structure than it is art. I thought I would be, you know, taking my camera, filming my day, being all cute and being like, oh, this is my thoughts. Like, yeah, but no. There's a lot of planning that goes into this in these videos that I don't think I really knew was gonna happen. But also deadlines, which, I mean, deadlines are great, don't get me wrong. If you don't have deadlines, then what is the motivation to do anything, you know? You have all the time in the world, so why bother? Or you wait so long on making a product so good that you never publish it. But content creating is also business oriented. It's focused on growth and metrics and analytics that I didn't really think I'd be paying attention to, but here I am. Okay, this one actually made me sad, but I don't think anybody wants to spend their free time learning about therapy. The people that want to learn about therapy are going to therapy, and the ones that aren't, well, they want a break. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. But, you know, making videos is also about the process instead of progress. So what I mean by that is I have to make one video per week, and there's 52 weeks in a year. So theoretically, I could make 52 videos in 1 year, right? Well, that hasn't exactly happened. I've missed a few weeks here and there due to reasons or because I have scrapped a video. That was a fun week. But there's tight schedules. I mean, I have a day to film. I have a day to write a video, but I also have to think about how I'm going to market that video and what I want the description to be and how I want the thumbnail to be and what I want the cinematography shots to be. There's a lot of things to plan and not a lot of time, actually. And then I have guilt for not working ahead, which seems stupid, but you know, the work doesn't really ever feel like it's done. I thought I would be making art, and while I am also thinking about a lot of business pieces I did not expect to be thinking about. And has that put pressure on the art? Sure. It's just a little weird. This whole experience is a little weird for me because, you know, I have more free time than I've ever had in my life because I work from home. I get to create my own job. I get to put as much or as little time as I want into it, but I feel trapped in a box of my own creation. And those are my videos. I feel trapped by my own videos because, you know, this is my work. This is my business. This is my creation and dream, and I get to put as much work as I want into it. And right now, I don't think I'm really balancing life well because I want this to work. I want this to be successful. And if I can, I'm gonna put in more work. And do I get paid for that work? Well, no. But maybe someday I will. I think what I've been realizing since doing this journal prompt is that I'm not allowing myself permission to play because I know other people are counting on me. I know that somebody is waiting to publish the video, so they need me to upload the files and to manage the script and manage the editing team and figure out how all of that's gonna happen. And it feels like all of this has to be done yesterday. But I only have today. And I think what has been bothering me so much about this journaling process is that I thought all of this would get easier over time with practice and with more videos, but it's just seemed to evolve. The work has seemed to evolve into new things, new struggles, new problems, new puzzles to do and figure out and to solve, you know? But what if it didn't have to be like this? I mean, that's my positive thinking, I guess, is like, what if it didn't have to be this way? That's what my therapist brain says, right? What could you do differently? Which was where I was going with the next journal prompt. But I gave myself a list of things that I would tell somebody in therapy. Practice gratitude, practice mindfulness, be grateful. It's easier said than done. But I think I'm focused on the wrong thing. Okay.
So I was talking to a friend maybe a week or two ago, and they said something that was quite profound to me that kind of put all of this into perspective for me. Okay, so hang with me for a second. He asked me, do I see a glass as a half full or a half empty glass? What typically is my answer? And I was like, honestly, I'm probably a half empty kind of gal. That's just the way it works. But sometimes I can manipulate myself into thinking that it's half full. And he said, I always see the glass as full. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it's full of something. It might not be water. And I was like, oh. Won't lie. Put me in my place a little bit. But the point is, I feel like I'm trying to chase this joy or this idea that I think life should be in work-life balance, but my cup is actually full. It is full of work, and it is full of play, and it is full of whatever I choose to see it be full of. And I think it has more to do with perspective than actually changing anything in my behavior. And that's when I realized that those therapy lessons, I guess I give other clients and other people will tell you of like, be grateful and have mindfulness and whatnot. Well, it's not just about practicing something. It's about changing your mindset. It's about changing your perspective on things. And when you change your perspective on things, you start to see it differently. And that's the point. Like, you can choose to see your life as super busy and stressful and whatnot, or you can choose to see it as exciting. You can choose to see it as eventful. We have a whole English language full of words that you could use to describe your life or what's going on for you. It could be dull, or it could be quiet. It could be chaotic, or it could be enticing. There's different words to describe things. And I think that's what I've been realizing lately, is that my life does have a lot of value in it. And it all has to do with what I look for. Corey came home this week, and it was nice to see him again. And I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, so seeing him in person was nice. And we went for a dinner date because we scheduled this app that pays us to go out to eat, and that's super cool. So we had to rush to do that before the end of the month. But at the same time, we chose to see it as something exciting and new, and we got to see a part of the city that we don't normally get to see a part of, and we got to walk through the city, and we had friends come over this week. I've had some relaxing moments with loved ones at night and cuddling with the dogs and just chilling, watching our favorite shows on TV and cooking and just taking things a little slower. And I think that's what I haven't been paying attention to, is this play. I think in reality, my friend taught me that I'm not unhappy because my life isn't worth it. I'm unhappy because in a way, I'm choosing to be unhappy. That's a hard pill to swallow. So I guess the idea now, or the thought that I'm having now, is how am I gonna choose to be happy? It's gonna be challenging myself. I'm gonna have to practice some gratitude. And yes, it will be practice, because I won't just have to practice in the good moments, but also in the moments where I'm super frustrated and super stressed. What can I be grateful for when I am panicking? But that is what practice is. And, all the other points that I mentioned in my journal of taking life slower and taking time to breathe and going outside. Fresh air is just good for your mind. Really and truly, I think we all know what to do, but we don't really want to do it.
I'll say it. That's a hard truth. But I'm looking at myself in the mirror here, okay? You know what to do. You just don't want to do it. And why you don't want to do it, I'm not sure. But you need to try. You need to try. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that if you don't pay attention to all the things that are happening in your life, you might miss them. Isn't that an old country song? You're gonna miss this? Yeah, that song, but not applied to children or your wedding or none of that sentimental crap, okay? Just the day to day. You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss just feeling the sunshine. You're gonna miss smelling the rain. You're gonna miss these small moments where you got to say hi to your mom or hi to your best friend that you don't get to talk to but like once a month. If you don't pay attention to all these things, they do pile up, but sometimes we just brush them off to the side. And I know this is hard. It's hard for me, obviously. Otherwise, this journal prompt wouldn't have bothered me so bad. But if you feel like this is totally new to you, or if it's too hard, maybe you should journal about it. Maybe you should figure out why this is hard for you and why you can't pay attention to the good things. Because we have to figure it out, otherwise we're never gonna change. So I feel like I say this in every video, but I'm gonna start working on this. And if I'm gonna start working on this, you have to start working on this, okay? Because I can't do it alone and I need you to do it with me. So tell me what's working for you. Tell me what tips and tricks and new things that you discovered that help make it easy. And I'd love hearing from you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.